Hello, everybody. This is your queen, LionessRoars, from the WineGlassesUp radio show, and it is 7 o'clock p.m. I'm on time, and I'm going to wait for y'all to start coming on, okay? So come on, start coming on and start sharing to your friends and to your different pages. I have a legendary DJ and producer that's going to be coming on tonight with me, and I want everybody to support and share, all right? Here we go. I'm about to go request them, so give me a minute, all right? All right, I'm still here, everyone. I'm still here. I'm sending in my invite. All right. So once he come on, hello, Mike. How are you? How are you? Do you hear an echo? Do anybody hear echo? Please let me know if you hear echo. If it's clear, please let me know. Try not to have no frequencies tonight, y'all. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is your queen, LionessRoars, on the WineGlassesUp radio show. It is 7 o'clock p.m., and I have a legendary guest on my show tonight. Oh, yes, a legendary guest on my show tonight that goes by the name of K-Lo. K-Lo from the LiveSquad, legendary, thank you, DJ and producer. All right, he produced the late and great legendary Tupac Shakur, also Nas and Digital Underground. So you know we're going to have a great testimony going on here tonight. Thank you so very much. Yes, I'm just praying that the frequency, the Facebook frequency stays clear. So if it doesn't, y'all, my audience, let me know, okay? I want to say happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans out there that served this country. Thank you so very much. I salute you. Yes, guess what? My wine glass is up to each of you. Yes, all my legends, all the legends out there. All my legends, my veterans. Thank you so much for serving this country. Without y'all, it would be a mess. So I congratulate y'all so much. Yes, hey, yes. Look at all my peoples coming on. Everybody, please share. Let's keep sharing. I see you, K-Lo. I see you. Just have to accept the invite. Okay. I see you on here. Just look at your computer. You should be able to accept the invite. I'm gonna send it again. Yes, you're already there. All you have to do is hit the accept. Okay? Just hit the accept. Okay, the invite is already there. It's already there. There we go. Here we go, y'all. No, that's the wrong person. All right, somebody's trying to that's not the person. No. Do you see it, K-Lo? Look at your laptop, or you may be able to send me an invite. See if you can do that. We gonna get this, y'all. We gonna get this. See if you can send me an invite, or you should see it at the bottom of your screen where it says approve or add. He's on here, everyone. Thanks everybody for tuning on. If let me know if you see it. You can just comment on here. Richard Trimble was trying to get on. I see you. We're just waiting for K-Lo to come on. Comment on your screen. Let me know if you're having problems. Maybe we can walk you through it. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the WineGlassesUp radio show. Thank you so much. Please share. Hello, Mr. Pringle, and thank you so much for the connection with me and K-Lo. It's been great. We just waiting for him to come on. I'm doing good, Richard. How are you? Having an issue. Okay, what issue are you having? He said he's having an issue, everybody. I'm trying to see what issue he's having. Just in case if I have to start this live over, I don't want y'all to go anywhere, okay? Don't go nowhere. What issue are you having? If you're having a problem coming off from your laptop, try your phone. Just go from your phone. Okay. Everybody, please let me know where y'all checking in from. Send another invitation. Okay, I sure will. Okay. Okay, I just sent it. Everyone, he's coming on. And I hope everybody got their wine glasses up. Y'all see I'm ready. I'm ready. Happy Veterans Day. I don't know what y'all got in y'all cups, but I got mine. Get y'all glasses up and let me know what y'all drinking tonight. All right, he's adding. He's coming on. Everybody, Mr. K. Lowe, legendary DJ and producer for the late and great Tupac Shakur. Hello. There you go. Could you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clear. Yes, everything is clear.
I'm going to do this from my phone.
That's right. Sometimes it's better to do it from the phone. I do it from my phone. I tried it from my tablet and my laptop, and it's always an issue. But everybody, please help me welcome the legendary, the one and only K. Lowe from the LiveSquad, legendary DJ and producer. K. Lowe, are you still there? I can see you. Right there. Right there. There you go. Our Pringle is on here. They all saying hello. Could you hear me? Hold on. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, everybody saying hello to you. You want to say hello to the peoples? To your fans?
What's going on, everybody?
All right.
How
you doing out there? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm
good?
In my lab.
Okay. He's saying in his lab. It maybe stay right there. Okay, go ahead. Did you hear me?
You talking to me?
Yeah, it's just me and you in here tonight.
Let me get out of these headphones because it's a delayed reaction.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm good. What's up?
All right, that's good. That's real clear. All righty. So everybody, again, this is K. Lowe. K. Lowe, you want to let everybody know where K. Lowe originally come from, and let's get the introduction started right there. Hold up, you froze for a minute. You're back.
I'm back?
Yeah, you're back. Go ahead.
Okay, I was born and raised in Harlem, New York. Harlem world, you know what I mean? So Harlem, where it all began for me and my family. We been through a time where it was kind of a struggle for the African Americans there.
1 minute. Turn your music down in the back.
Oh, I got me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, Harlem was a place where Black pride was at its highest levels because of what our culture been through. Mm-hmm. My grandmother had the first Black-owned hat store on 125th Street, and that really resonated with me as I was growing up. I didn't understand because I was kind of young, but then as you get older and you see how cultural and different things that was happening in the world, moved to Queens. My mom moved to Queens. We had a lot of little dysfunctions in our family with my dad, whatever. So typical story of, father abusive and different things like that. So mom moved us to Queens. So when I moved to Queens.
What part of Queens?
I had moved to St. Albans.
Okay.
There. And then we moved to another part of Queens, Hollis, Queens.
Hollis!
But before I moved to Hollis, I lived right around the corner from Q-Tip and them. Q-Tip, okay. I lived around L, over there on Farmers Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Big up to L. Big up to
LL Cool J.
My man D. and a lot of people over there. And when we moved further south or north, whatever, we moved over there by Hollis, literally around Run DMC. My man Sha Money XL, who he was producing 50 Cent. So, back then everybody wasn't big names like they were now. Even one of Jay-Z's producers lived around me as well. So, moved over there, and that's during the crack era where everybody was getting rich over crack cocaine, man. It was like, dang, I saw how neighborhoods was being affected by this drug that was just became, man. But before then, everything was pretty much, we were just trying to, we going to school. We're trying to be a part of society, pretty much. But hip hop became the fad. The shell toe Adidas, the fat laces, the Kangos, the gazelles, and all of that stuff, the gold ropes and stuff. You know what I mean? So you can help to get involved in that.
Right. You look, I'm rocking it down. Look.
It's just like you get a car, you put chrome rims on. To me, that's like putting laces in your shell toe Adidas. Couldn't afford no cars back then. We in high school. So
right.
I moved next door to these individuals, Big Stretch, may he rest in peace, and my man Big Madge. Big up to Big Madge, my man Homo and all of them, you know what I mean? And the twins and all y'all. So I pretty much moved into a neighborhood where they were getting it in. Now I was already blinged out. I was wearing gold keys, long braids, the gold gibbies. I don't know if y'all know what gibbies is. The gibbies.
Now explain that.
The gibbies was the gold glasses. We used to wear gold glasses. Everything had to be blinged out.
Okay.
So we actually called ourselves the Thugadons because we were thugs, but we were dons at the same time.
Thugadons.
That was like a street type of persona that when we went out to the clubs and we hung out into these various areas, we also presented ourselves as such. So as time went on, we got involved in the industry because Stretch and them were influenced by my man Big Orb and all of them, and they pretty much was telling Stretch like, man, y'all should get involved in the industry. Y'all hustling, put that money to use.
Now, who was some of the guys? Is this how LiveSquad started? What you're about to tell now? Is this how LiveSquad?
That's how LiveSquad started. So Ed Lover, he.
Okay, you went out for a minute. You're back.
Huh?
You're back.
Oh, I'm back because I keep getting everybody seeing me. They sending me all kind of messages.
They showing you love.
Yeah, Ed Lover, he believed in us, and he really pretty much was responsible for our career. And Ed Lover helped us get to where we were trying to go. So he would shop our deals for us. And we had gotten a deal with No Face Record, Mark Sex, and Shy, and all of them. When we met Shock G from Digital Underground, he was always coming around.
Okay, Digital Underground. Right. You produced some music for Digital Underground, correct?
Yeah, we did. We had remixed a few songs for him and all of that. So we were all like friends, and the music industry wasn't like, man, let's try to get in, let's do this. No, we were all just close knit.
Right.
And that's how we actually met Tupac. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's talk about that, Tupac. I know that's something a lot of listeners want to hear about, your relationship with Tupac. As far as you want to take it, it's up to you. You already know. We talked already.
Okay. Now, that was an amazing journey because not only meeting Tupac, we were touring with Mobb Deep, and LiveSquad pretty much started noticing a lot of stuff from the hood because Big Stretch and Madge and them, when I moved over there into their neighborhoods, they were already, they were getting money. I wasn't no hustler. I ain't gonna lie. I won't front because, me, I was in the streets with a lot of dudes, but I wasn't from the streets with a lot of dudes. So I knew the
Got it.
street language. I knew a lot of thugs, killers, all of that. But when I moved around stretching them, they noticed that I had an ear for music, and they asked me to be their producer. So when I got involved with that over there, had a few fights and all that. So, you know, you go through the street thing. They make sure you ain't
Right.
no punk. And so I got cool with them, and I started producing music with them. And we started going on a promotional tour thanks to Ed Love and my man CJ, who taught me everything. Because CJ was that dude that'd be like, yo, man, stop smoking so much weed, man. Why don't you sit next to me and learn this? You know what I'm saying? Stop
Right,
being
right.
stupid. So CJ really encouraged me to really take this to another level. However, when LiveSquad and us, we were starting to do our thing, that's when things started gradually progressing. And we started really becoming hungry for it. And that's one thing I give to Big Stretch, may his soul rest in peace. Stretch
Yes.
was really, really like, he was
What
the
happened,
influence to make it
if you don't
happen.
mind, what happened to Big Stretch? I know there's someone that was very close to you.
Yeah, Stretch was close to me. Stretch was murdered in 95, unfortunately, by some things that happened in the hood, you know, and that he was responsible for getting
You had
a
paused
lot.
for a minute, but you're back.
Okay, yeah, I keep getting these messages. I wish I could have turned that off. But Stretch was like the face of LiveSquad. You know what I'm saying? You seen Stretch, you knew who he was. You heard his voice, you knew who he was. And his drive, his determination to really make this happen, where he and I would sit down and talk and about things. So it really inspired me when he allowed me to be a part of the group. You understand? So when I became a part of the group, I'm one of those guys that if I'm with you, you know, I'm with you all the way. And I took it upon myself to invest in music equipment. When I got
Okay.
the equipment up in my room, that's where we lived. We lived in my room for doing different beers and all of that stuff with production. This is before Tupac, by the way. So
Okay.
when we met Tupac, we were already into what we were into because we had got a deal with Def Jam, Russell Simmons. When we
Okay.
got a deal with Russell Simmons, we were pretty much, you know, had our own ideas and everything. And Russell Simmons was impressed by it. He wanted to create an East Coast NWA. So
Really?
Live Squad was going to be the vehicle for that because he was like, "Yo, did you hear this group? Listen to these niggas." You know, and we like, "Yo." So, you know, Live Squad was a group that was like, yo, life of a hustler, telling kids this is the life of a hustler. Like, you don't gotta do this, man. And you know, but keep it 100. But Russell Simmons really changed the concept of the group, in my opinion, from what I saw. And
Russ
we
put a
just
lot of people on out there in
yeah,
Hollis.
he put a lot of people on. And he inspired us to do this song called Murderer. If you YouTube this song called Murderer, that was the beginning of the Game of Survival movement, if you ask me, because
Y'all hear that? Look up Murderer on YouTube by LiveSquad.
murderer with AH at the end instead of ER.
Murderer. Yes.
Murderer. You know what I mean? So we did Murderer, and Murderer introduced us to the game because even though that contract didn't work out with Russell Simmons, he allowed us to move on, and Warner Brothers picked us up, and
Okay.
they built everything around the song Murderer, and we created Game of Survival. Game of Survival was more or less what you're seeing right now. A lot of neighborhoods around the world, and even in this country for that matter, that, you know, a lot of people don't have nothing else to look up to, man. We got to hustle to survive.
Right.
And when the crime bill came, the crime bill, if you notice, they apologized for that crime bill, but that crime bill
Yes.
dudes up in prison. And
Yes.
they just had no other way to survive. A lot of people on New York, you talk to them, they say, look, man, I'm surviving, man, I'm surviving. So we came up with Game of Survival. The Game of Survival was just the vein of the streets. Our album took place on the street. Every time a song went off, you would hear realistic situations. Like we would have a skit
Right.
where we went to a homeless guy, a skit where some young ladies getting off the bus and, oh man, we got to walk past these dudes again. Just your everyday life that you go through as an individual. So we related to what was going on in society. The
That was your
game,
message. That was your
that was our
message in the
message.
music. Right.
So Tommy Boy saw it and they's like, man, when we listen to your album, it's like we could visualize everything. So they shot a long form video. They spent $1 million on my group and they shot a long form video based on Game of Survival. And
Okay.
that's when we met Tupac. During that time, I mean, we was on the Juice set. We was hanging with him on the Above the Rim.
Okay, you'll be right back. There you go. You went out for a second. They blowing you up over there, huh? They blowing you up.
Yeah, so we had that's when we started hanging around together, you know, eating and hanging out, having fun. And the thing I loved about Tupac's energy, he loved the people. Pac loved kids. You know, we would go somewhere, like we'd be uptown and he'd see a bunch of kids playing basketball. Pac would go and play basketball with them. Like, what, y'all think y'all got it? Y'all can take me? And he'd just, you know, do his thing. So we were personal with each
Right.
other. It wasn't about getting
Just
that money,
music.
just music.
Right.
So when he learned the game of survival, Pac wanted to be a part of it, and we all just incorporated everything together. And we was telling him, look, it's a life of a thug, man, and it inspired Pac to just do the Thug Life project. And when he did the Thug Life project, as you can see, we worked on that as well.
I see it. I see it. Congratulations. Yeah.
And I mean, I just want to first foremost say that I thank you for allowing me to be on here to hear my voice and to the world that's listening to me, because that was an era that, you know, hip hop was very, very important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which a lot of artists today feel like, you know, it's died because no one is protecting the platform. That's a platform that you have a freedom to express who you are.
Right.
You understand? And as an artist, when you're in the studio, like I'm in my studio right now, when you're in your studio, you're not pressing these buttons and you're not playing these instruments saying, man, I'm gonna get paper. You playing these instruments with a different type of drive, with a different type of passion for the music. You understand? So
Yes.
we had a passion for this thing, and the streets was our primary demographic to tell the dudes on the street, like, look, you're getting money on the street, you know what I'm saying? But take your money and really do something with it.
Invest it.
Invest it. Buy up these lots, buy up these abandoned buildings, buy up everything, you know, and you know, it's something that you would learn that in the country we live in, that if you are a voice that can influence a culture, you become a dangerous individual. That's the best way how I could look at it.
And that's where you are right now. But before we even jump there, now I think they got the whole intro part, and I want to say it's an honor having you. You're giving me your time, a man of your status, your honor, your passion. You came a long way in this business, and you've seen it all. What we seen on the news, what we read in the newspaper and everything, you were there 10 toes down. And from what you tell me, like the last 2 weeks we've been talking. And again, I want to thank Dow Pringle for bringing us together. That's my Spike Lee. You know, that's family. That's DP right there. So shout out to Hollis Queens that accept me and brought me in as their adopted sister. And I get a lot of love.
You know what I'm saying?
I get a lot of love. So back to, you know, what I was saying, like you've seen it all. And at some point in your life, you said it was time to go. What you want to speak on that?
Well, after the passing of Tupac and Biggie, because a lot of people don't know, I was going to do half of Biggie's album before he passed away. Biggie picked 8 tracks from me, and the studio right down from Boy Studio, and I had the pleasure of going down there during my break And Biggie was there by himself. He was in a cast when he broke his leg. And he told me out of his mouth, he said, yo, Lo, I don't care about this Tupac beef. It's just while I'm touring, the fans, Tupac fans always talking trash to him, throwing stuff at them or whatever he was saying. And he was like, yo, all I need to do is sell 2.5 mil and I could die after that. I don't care. That came out of his mouth. And I was like, yo, Big, don't say that, man. We love you, man. The world loves you, bro. Don't let this little beef stuff, cause you to think like that, man. And he was like, yo, I appreciate that. And even on his album, if you look on that album, it says, thanks, Lo. Because we had a heart to heart. People don't understand being an artist in this world. A lot of times you're a human being, man. You know what I'm saying? You trying to do this for your fam. You trying to just contribute to hip hop. So it's the type of thing where, it traumatized me without me knowing that I was traumatized. And I feel that there's a lot of people that's listening to me right now that you've been traumatized, and you don't even understand that you've been traumatized. And the world is moving so fast, you don't even have time to sit down with yourself and be like, man, what's up with me? Because now our new norms is dead bodies on the street. You know what I mean? Niggas getting popped off and all of that stuff. So I really had to really get into myself, and I was losing all sense of reality. Because I used to carry 2 Glocks on me. I had guns on me because I felt like, it's getting too violent around me. But that's not how my mom raised me. I got a love for the craft. I got a love for the music. I love Busta and Jay and all of them. When I see Busta Rhymes, me and him like, yo, my nigga, yo. But when you go through some personal things that you can't really handle, how do you release? So my mom was saying, I'm praying for you. I'm really praying. Even Stretch mom, she's heavily involved in the church. She's praying for us. And I took it upon myself and say, you know what? Let me get on my knees and pray.
All right.
Lord, man, I need help. I need help because I find myself at a loss right now with what happened to Tupac and Big Stretch. A lot of people don't even know that to this day, that it affected me. I mean, look at me. I got gold and platinum records behind. It took a lot for me to get those. It took a lot of work, a lot of dedication.
Let them know right now. Here's your platform. Here's your testimony. Let them know right now how it affected you, what it did to you. Let's see it from you. I'm sit back.
So I realized that, that the love for hip hop was so dear to me, but the issues that you go through with the surrounding things, the surrounding issues, sometimes can pull you away from the cause. So I just I made a conscious decision to tap into me, because I am who I am. I control who I am.
Right.
I'm not selling my soul. I'm not doing hip hop to make millions of dollars. I was doing hip hop because I loved hip hop. That was something I loved doing. But as I started seeing things happening, I couldn't handle it because I'm not used to death hitting home. My homies, other homies. And I'm like, dang, I can't believe he's no longer here. And there was times I didn't even want to leave my house. And here I am, this well-known music producer that didn't understand what was going on and why, trying to make sense of it all. So somebody invited me to come out, and they were praying for me. They saw what I was going through. They saw a change in me. So I made a conscious decision to, tap into my spiritual side, speaking things into the universe and trying to find out, am I going to die? Because I didn't know anything about that platform. And it's like, I don't want to die, bottom line. So, my life changed, and I moved to Chicago. I had a opportunity to move to Chicago. I started a family and, got my kids and all of that, and moved to Chicago, got away from New York.
That was the
Maybe
same. That was the
a good
change.
idea. I mean, it was something to get away from a lot of things because I couldn't cope. Like I said, I think I was traumatized. But my whole
Who
thing was,
wouldn't be after everything you saw? Who wouldn't be
come
traumatized
on,
by that?
man. You know, it was like I couldn't even. I'll be in my car and I hear a song that I produced, and I would tear up because I remember the moments of creating that and how much fun we had. Afeni, God bless her soul, Afeni Shakur, you know, she was very
Yes,
close,
God bless.
very dear to me. So my personal life was private. So anyone that was into my personal life, you know, you don't even understand what role you would play in that. Not knowing this world right here, where this world was totally different. That was my escape to find me. You know what I mean? The man that my mom raised, the man that she wanted me to be. So even in saying all of that, I went back to school. I graduated out of college. You know, I got a college degree because I was
All
trying to
right.
find myself. But my man CJ was like, yo, Lo, the world still needs you, man. The world
Me
still
too.
needs that gift. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. You know, I was away from all of that. I moved to the Midwest. And then one day I'm like, man, I got to get back to my East Coast.
That's right. Come on. Let's
The
go.
people here, the people in the Midwest don't understand us on the East Coast. You know, we keep it 100. As long as you keep it 100. You know, a lot of people, you know, I ain't even going to get into that. But
Yeah,
even in my
we can get
personal
into
life,
whatever you want to get into. The people need to hear from you,
even in
K Lo.
my personal life, I became kind of like by myself because no one knew Kevin. No one knew Kevin. Everybody knew Low. I go back to New York, they know me as Low. My people in Brooklyn, my people in Uptown, the Bronx, everybody know Low. I remember one time I went to Bad Boy Studio and my ex-girlfriend, she was the one that buzzes you in, and she was the one that broke my heart. And I was like, this, she looking at me like, what you doing here? I'm like, I'm doing shit big. Tell Big Low here. So I'm in the back. And this is what I'm saying. People don't know you as Kevin. So she gonna call back there and say, tell Kevin he has a call. And be like, yo, who the F is Kevin? Who's Kevin? And nobody knows you as Kevin. So it was funny, but my point is that people don't know you in your private life. So when you open that up to people, you know, they don't understand the validity of that how you know, you really being vulnerable from this world.
Right.
Because in this world, I was contributing to hip hop and I still have a passion for hip hop. You know what I mean? So I had to move away to get grounded. I had to find balance because I was not balanced. Because right
And
now, uh-huh.
no, so and when you moved to Chicago and you went to college, you got your degree, you started speaking in conferences.
Yeah. I started speaking at conferences and that caught me by surprise because a lot of those platforms are talking about things dealing with cultural influences. And Tupac's name is always mentioned. So I was at a conference and you know, I'm a networker. I'm gonna shake your hand. Hey sir, how you doing? What's your name? What you do? And they were more or less we were having discussions and he's like, get out of here. You worked in the hip hop industry? You work with Pop, Nas? What? So he said, hold on. He made a phone call and he called this dean, and the dean was, you know, like, hey, what do you want? He's like, hey, remember you're doing the topic of discussion. Who you talking about? He said, Tupac Shakur. He said, what if I tell you I'm with one of his producers? He's like, man, stop playing with me, man. So that opened the door for me to do a couple of lectures at this university called Wheaton College here in Illinois. And
Okay.
that was a humbling experience for me because it's like I'm nervous. I'm in front of all these professors, but it was like so comfortable because I'm speaking about a time that a lot of people don't understand. That hip hop was going through a transition then. You know, hip hop was parallel to what was going on in society. whether bad or good, whether the injustices of the hood, politics, you got your public enemies, your ex-clans, you know what I mean? You got all these
Yes.
different groups that's like, man, being that trumpet for the platform. So
Right,
that's what
right,
I was used to. And then it
right.
started transitioning with the lyrical, with your Nas, with your DMXs and your, this and your that. So it was exciting for me. I'm always going to be an artist that's excited to do it. I could jump on my stuff right now here in this studio and create a song in 2-3 minutes. Not a big deal because my mind is engrafted in hip hop.
When it's you, it doesn't leave you. It doesn't matter if you move away or
Right.
you take a break. When it's in your bloodline, that's who you are. You can't run from that.
Exactly. So, I love to take it to the next.
Mhm,
So, I had stopped for a minute, and I'm not going to lie because I was just going through some personal things.
mhm.
And I needed that support, and I wasn't getting it here in the Midwest, to be totally honest with you. I never said this before to anybody. And when I started reaching back out to my peoples on the East Coast, it was like that energy. Every time I started going to New York, I come back like, man, what's up? You know what I mean? Yo, I'm that dude. What's up with me? You know what I mean? So charging up my studio, I got hundreds of tracks. I'm working with different artists. And it's just sad to say that you have a lot of people that are doing this, but for the wrong reasons.
Say it
You have,
again.
you have a lot of people that are doing this for the wrong reasons. I would
Yes.
step into the room and I love networking with my artists. I love to politic with dudes and everybody's bragging. Everybody's acting like they the joint. You know what I mean? Like they doing
They the
it.
best thing happened to hip hop, right?
And they really don't have anything going on. But if we was to unify this thing, really, especially now that you have the Black Lives Matter and all of this and that. But one thing's for sure, like I was saying before, this president election, the elections showed us how divided the country is.
Very divided.
How we are still progressing. You know what I'm saying? If that doesn't even spark some type of movement in hip hop, I don't know what to say because we were concept driven. Thug
Mhm.
Life, LiveSquad, all of that is concept driven. So me being a part of that Thug Life movement, I took it upon myself to innovate it, and I speak at schools where kids they
Okay.
don't know what they want to do. All they know
Right.
is like, man, I'm seeing hip hoppers flashing money and flashing bling bling. Let me be that.
Naked girls. It's it's
Exactly.
it's a it's a mess. It's a
So
mess.
I'm
It really is.
finding out that I learned how to break a student down. I've learned how to break an individual down. Like, yo, what you really like to do, man? I like to work on computers and all that. So I would try and bring resources to schools and young adults to tap into something because let's be real about it. I would say everywhere I go, everybody in this room is not going to be rich, but everybody in this room, you're gifted to doing something.
Right.
So you operate off your gift, and then at the end of the week, once you reach the successes of that, when you get your check, go to the studio. Go try and be a basketball player. Because everyone is not going to be a star, and everyone is not going to be a hip hopper.
Everybody's not going to make it.
Successfully, successfully
Right.
to a
Right.
place where you could take care of your family. You know what I mean? And
Right.
do all that kind of stuff. So that's what I do on that's my other passions is to help pass the torch to the other young individuals that say, man, come on, don't look at me with the bling bling. You could do the same thing.
I
Never
like what you just said. I like what you just said when you said pass the torch. Some people get so caught up in it that they become selfish. Like, okay, you did it, and you can still do it, but you always got to reach back for our new generation that's so lost in this so-called hip hop genre right now. But if we reach back and teach them, like, okay, go and learn about it, study about what it is that you really want to do and make a difference. Me and you were speaking earlier, and we spoke about the music today and how people, they're rapping about their society, where they at, what they see.
Mhm.
How is it, I mean, like from your time, when your LiveSquad, Tupac, all y'all was rapping about what y'all seen and y'all experiences. What is the difference between then and now, or how they're doing it now, per se, how y'all did it then?
Well, how it is now, you have different entities that involved in the game. Now, the record labels weren't always honest. So, we as a people, we learned how to evolve. I watched something the other day on this young lady, Paula, I believe. I was watching her video, and there's a mural that was made somewhere, and it said, they buried us, but didn't know they planted seeds. That was so
Okay.
profound because back then there was a passion for the culture. Culture has been taken out of hip hop because
Yes.
the motives are different. You might have hustlers in the game, you got goons in the game, street dudes. Look, I ain't no hater of that. But the platform itself really was more protected for our First Amendment right, freedom of speech, and all that when hip hop was being attacked because we were exercising our right to talk about the injustices, and Tupac just took it to a whole nother level. And I learned so much from him watching his ideas, and for him to even write to some of my songs was an honor for me. But I learned a lot from him the time that I did spend with him because that passion transcended into me in my own way. Not that I'm trying to be like Pac, but I take it to where I know how to do it. You know what I mean? And I'm good with mentorship programs and different places like that to bring a different perspective. So nowadays, you got people just want to get that money.
That's it.
Sex sells. So I'm not saying that artists are selling their souls. So don't quote me.
No,
But
not maybe not all of them.
it's along those lines. Some people are selling their.
Okay. Yeah, you had
Did
went
I
out
cut
for a
out?
minute. Yeah, you cut out for a second.
So you got a lot of people that they chasing money. A lot of people chasing money. Maybe not be for the hip hop, but if money is your thing, they say the love of money is the root of all evil. You understand? That doesn't necessarily mean a bad evil. It's an evil that you don't understand who you are, your life, your peace, your happiness, because you have made money your thing. And I ain't hating people for that. You want to do your thing, go do your thing. But at the time, there's going to be a time where you're going to find yourself that your life is empty. Hip hop was never about money with us. You need money to survive. But my
Right.
thing is, we were more passionate about doing what we was doing for the culture. Straight.
Yes.
I'm a radical dude. You know what I mean? Because my best experience is I spoke at a place called Lydia Homes. I don't know if people know what Lydia Homes is.
Speak on it.
LYDIA is homes for homeless kids who parents threw them away. I had a young man hugging my leg saying, I wish he was my dad. Beautiful young man, getting A's in his grades. But thank God that these places provide a home for them for a lot of families that couldn't take care of them, didn't
Right.
want them, et cetera, et cetera. So I try to become available to show them that there's hope. So everything around us, people at the end of the day, when you get into yourself, this is a spiritual thing that's going on right now.
Say it again.
Spiritual
Very
thing,
spiritual.
I
Yes.
can sit here and tell you go to church and all that stuff, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's spiritual. It's spiritual. It's a lot of evil going on, and I'm not here to get all deep about the New World Order, the Illuminati, and all that. If you ask me, it's just the devil and it's God. Simple as that. Devil has his way of deceiving most, but he can't do this unless this and all this. power things going back and forth, and we as human beings, we're in the middle. You
Yes.
understand?
Spiritual warfare.
Have a spiritual foundation without being religious. So what happened to me, for me to survive, I have to give all glory to God.
Amen.
I'm a street dude. I'm from the streets, but I can't front on God, because God was the one that allowed me to be here in front of this camera right now talking to you.
And
So I
I'm
can,
so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. You went out for a second. You're back. You're back.
yeah, I'm thinking about
Because
messages.
you know me and you, we listen, just being brought
Yeah,
together these last couple of weeks. I mean, we get into our testimonies and we get deep, and I don't know yet. I think we're gonna keep warming them up a little. We don't want to, go that hard. They'd be like, "Oh, what they talking about?" You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
it it's that love of God. It's that vision, that that relationship with God that we, when we came to our standstill in our life. Like I came to a standstill in my life. You came to a standstill in your life, and we learned to appreciate our life more every day, every second of the day, because we know that we came in here on this day. We're gonna leave one day, so we following our purpose, and our passion. So at some point, we all have to stand still to understand who we are and why we're here to do, what it is to do. And in order to understand that, you have to come to a standstill, and that's what we did. Um,
yeah,
on that note, right there, like I'm glad that you listened to the spirit. I'm glad that you understood that it was time to go with everything that was happening around you. And I'm also more excited that you want to make your way back here. No, you're going to make your way back here to the East Coast, and
yeah,
come, because we need you. The
yeah,
hip hop industry needs producers like you that lived in that realm, survived the realm, worked with the greatest MCs of all time. We need you back here as a producer, and I just want to know who would you like to work with? Who would you like to first of all, before I get to who you like to work with, how was it working with Nas and Digital Underground? Because I don't want to leave them
Oh,
out. You put in work.
man. It was amazing to work with Nas and Digital Underground, and even I was about to work with Biggie. Um, One day Tupac said to me, he said, Lo, one thing I love about your music, it makes me think. And then when I was in the studio with Nas, he was like, yo, Lo, your music make me think, man.
Mm.
And then when I was with Biggie, Biggie said, yo, one thing I can say about your music, man, your shit make me think, bro. That meant a lot to me. And when I went through my hurts and went through my emotional aspect of what happened, that's what sustained me. To hear three of the greatest rappers to me, one of the greatest rappers to me, because there's so many, to say that's what sustained me to bounce back. You know what I mean? I got a slew of artists that I work with right now. They may not be no household names, but they're hearts. So now it's more to it than working for a label, because I think I saw Dow Pringle saying corporate America had changed
Yes.
the dynamic of hip hop. They're telling A&Rs what to put out,
Hmm.
and how to do these things. So it's controlled. But when you have dudes like me that wants to really impact the culture, I look for artists that's coming from the heart. The people who I like to meet in my life, I want your heart to be right. Let's keep it 100 with each other. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because that's where the world has moved away from, the basics. So, yeah, there's so much to say with that.
So for you to come back to the East Coast, um, and fulfill your purpose, you would need a studio to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move all my studio stuff. I mean, I got a lot of high tech stuff. I'm not worried about that,
Okay.
because I'm gonna show you something.
All right.
Um, because I was talking to some shorties, and a lot of them didn't know about music equipment because everything is done on the computer. So this right here, I still
Mm.
got it over here because I was speaking at somewhere. This is an SB 1200. I did a
Okay.
lot of Tupac stuff on here. You know,
Okay.
so outboard gear, you had to work. You had to understand a lot that went into it. Now computer technology has took these sounds and put it on a computer software.
Hmm.
But to get that analog sound, I know
You
for
need that.
a lot of people looking at this, they know the SP12, man, this is worth about $10,000 right now. I only paid $1,000 back then. So the
Okay.
price of this, they don't make them anymore
So
because you
is it
don't get
still working?
that.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's
still
still
work? Is it working? Oh, I just asking.
why you ask me that?
Oh my God, G Money. He said, "Don't you ask me that."
Damn, though. So I give a lot of education on the backbone to how all of this is created. You know what I mean? So I can show you another piece of equipment where it's a MIDI keyboard, has no sounds in it. It's a keyboard, but everything is controlled by the. So you have to really, learn this thing called music creation, but your passion has to drive it.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. We need you back here. We need you back here. I want to send for you. Like, let's get him back here. Let's get this music
Yeah, I'm
back.
about to come back to the East. I'm planning it right now to come back to my people and to network and to get back into that vibe. Because as you get older, you have to know who you are as an individual. I mean, I
Exactly.
don't care if I'm driving a fancy car. I don't care if I'm in a fancy spot. At the end of the day, where I lay my head, I have to have that balance of who I am.
Hmm.
So my private life and all of that stuff, has to be conducive. Everything has to line up. And I
Right.
think nowadays, people motives, whether your motive is money and all of that, you will find yourself sad at the end of the day because after you got your money, then what?
Then
What
what? Exactly.
you could buy whatever you want to buy, you can pay your bills, you can move around. Then what do you have? If you don't have a spiritual foundation, I think right now, because we are in these last days, we had deep conversations in the studio. Big up to Madge and all y'all, but we tend to try to write it off, push it aside, and
Hmm.
try to navigate a society without it. It's no possible way. You cannot tell me that we're not in a spiritual warfare right now.
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a spiritual warfare. Yes, we
Hey,
are.
to each his own. To each his
Yes.
own. What you believe is what you believe, but I know what I've been through, what I prayed for, and what manifests itself to me. Okay? And if I go somewhere and a young man is saying, "Man, you changed my life," then that was my purpose for that moment. Okay? I want to help change lives, man. I'm passionate about what I do.
This is why I do what
Straight
I
up.
do, to be able to inspire someone to look deep within their self, to understand that they have a testimony in this world. So
Of
it's
course.
people like ourselves that we're brought together, um, to make this happen. And I want to extend to you right here on this live, wherever you need, this platform, because you said you want to come back to the East Coast. You said you're going to come back to the East Coast. I want my platform to be able to allow you to do that, to reach the people that haven't heard from you, to reach the people that don't know about you, and to reach the people that you want to reach. This is my invitation to you.
Okay.
We need
Okay.
producers back here like you to get it popping, and everybody that's on my live right now, this is who we need right here. We need Kalo back here. Get it popping. Let's get our music, back, but or what has I say, respected. Hip
Yeah.
hop is a culture. It's not just some minute thing. No, we've been here. We not going nowhere. But it's up to us to keep it motivated, and keep the strength in it and the love in it. We have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I could say to a lot of people, I started something called Ground Watch. Ground Watch started while I was on a tour. We came off stage one time, and well, I was going back to my hotel room because my hotel room had all my music equipment. I would travel with my equipment, so I do ideas in my room.
The
Um,
SB12 right there.
the SB12 would travel with me. Yes, I would not go anywhere without my boy. Um, so now, it turned into all of this kind of stuff.
Man, I
So,
wish I knew how to work that stuff. I wish I knew how to work it.
so it's like somebody begged me to listen to his stuff. And I went upstairs, took my jewelry off, and came downstairs. And this brother really got emotional. He said, "Yo, you didn't have to come down here to talk to me, man. This means a lot to me." So I was like, "Whoa, okay." So ground watch was created. Ground watch means staying close to the ground, because when you tour and travel out of your state all the time, and you come back to your hood and it seems brand new, it was like, man, this is where I was raised. This is where I lived at. Why it seems so brand new? So you can lose sense.
Okay.
So I started ground watch to stay low to the ground. So anybody who ever want to reach out to me, you can find me at ground watch. You type in groundwatch at gmail.com, groundwatch Instagram, groundwatch Facebook. That's me. I'm not so much of a social media person like a lot of people are. They're addicted to social media and all that. Me, I just try to do what I can do. I'm just not a
And
social media buff, but I
this is the
consider
honor. This is the honor right here. This is the honor right here.
yeah.
I got you.
So I have a movement that I have a team. I finally got my team of very intelligent brothers of integrity and intellect, that we are really trying to do something different with our influence. That's all. It doesn't have to be a Tupac influence. Don't feel like I'm this celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a dude that's passionate about hip hop, and I don't let the world uh, uh, push me out there as a celebrity. Because it's far more deeper than that for me, because of what I've been through. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears that has allowed me to be here. And that's why I say big up to my man Mash, Twins, Homo, and all of those dudes around my way, all my family, all my friends. I can't even mention all y'all names, because I feel God put y'all in my life to help sustain me. There's a lot of people who don't know Kevin. I don't mind telling you, my name is Kevin. Yeah, but they call me K-Lo. You look on these plaques, it says K-Lo. But if I allowed you to know Kevin, that means you meant a lot to me. You know what I mean?
You're very
Because,
humble to
right,
yourself.
I'm very humble, man. I'm very humble. Look, I'm not going to try and be something that I'm not. I just know how to do this. I know how. If you a lyricist, you come down to my lab, I guarantee you I'll find a track for you. People blowing me up for the track for your promo. I do tracks all day long. It's not a big deal. I just don't let the tracks cause me to be identified for it. It's like you just know how to do that. You should be multifaceted. You should know how to do many things, but without losing yourself.
Exactly. Like the track that you sent me for this show tonight.
Right.
I love
Man,
it. I love it.
I got beating 16 bars on that. Like, yo,
On that
bro,
same track?
that's sick. Yeah. Man, hold up. Bring that back. Let me, yo, man, check this out. Brother's like, dude, just go ahead. And I'm like, chill.
Say, hold on, say, Lioness got that now. Say, Lioness, the WineGlassesUp got that show. She got it. Wow. I love it. I mean, you came, yes.
No, what you was gonna say?
No, say your past and your presence now. It's a walk of life.
Yeah.
People have to understand their walk of life. It's not going to be glory days, but when you can get through it and say, I did it, that means so much.
Yeah.
And to hear that someone else say to you, what you did for them, that means a lot. So it's not over until God say, job well done. So until then, we got to get you back here on the East Coast real quick. You got to make some things happen. We're in a We're in a pandemic right now. A lot of things is limited. I would love to be in a studio right now, but I'm in my makeshift studio, and I'm grateful
Yeah.
because I'm still going to be able to get much as great testimonies as I possibly can. Um, when I get great testimony, it inspires me even more to keep going, to 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 want to keep pushing myself when I'm ready to, like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm just tired. Just want to throw it all away. Then I come back and be like, cut it out, okay, you good.
Right.
But it's not hard, but I love it. I mean, it's not easy all the time, vice versa, but I love what I do. So I love your story, and I love that you listened to, to the God, and you moved away, and now listen to God again when he said, job well done. It's time for you to go back over here because the East Coast needs you. uh you've got a lot of artists out there that need a producer that knows where they need to go, and they need that right person to lead them. So um this live right here we're doing is going to be pushed. We're going to keep pushing it. A lot of
Right.
people don't probably didn't even know where you were at until you just spoke it tonight.
Right.
It's just so
Exactly.
humble.
Exactly.
But they know
You
where
know,
you're going to be coming back to.
right. Exactly. You got to have that balance, man. You know, as the older you get, and if kids are involved, you know, they become your priority. You want to be that role model. You
Mhm.
want to, I mean, I'm vulnerable in front of my kids. And one thing I love about them is that I have two girls and one boy. My two daughters, one plays the violin and one plays the piano. They play
Okay.
classical music, and I'm sitting there like, whoa! They play so eloquently, and I'm grateful for that. So you'll see that you have a responsibility as a man.
Mhm.
You know, as a man, I still have my imperfections, things that I'm working on, and personal things or whatever. But when it comes down to what you're gifted at doing, we can't get into our emotions to say, well, later for that, later for this. No, you you're gifted to do something. You're destined to do something. It's not about being religious or spiritual. You have to understand who you are.
Right. Right.
I mean, so
And if
yeah,
and if you don't know that, you lost. You would never find. You would never know what your destiny is. You won't know how to get to it.
and living here in Chicago, has been very challenging because Chicago can be very dangerous. But one thing people have to understand, you have some brilliant, loving kids that are in these neighborhoods
Mm.
where a lot of people count them out. I go into these neighborhoods. Sometimes I take these off the wall and do assemblies and different things to inspire my future. That's where my passion lies at. You
Mhm.
understand? Yeah, I'm a single man and all of that, but my passion really lies where my sphere of influence can impact a life. Because we wanted to impact lives in hip hop.
Right.
Now,
Right.
the new thug life is going up into these high schools and all of these
That's it.
colleges and all of these kids that didn't grow up with dads and they in these environments. Like, look, we may not be able to change the gunshots that you're hearing in your hood, but if we could change your perspective,
Mhm.
man, because that's a powerful thing. If you could get
It
a young
is.
or a young woman to think,
Yes.
and I learned
Yes.
that from Tupac. I learned
All
that from,
right.
feel me?
You,
So that's what I love to do, straight up.
that song Tupac put out, Dear Mama, and
Mm-hmm.
what's the other one? But what's the having a baby? What was her name? Brenda.
Brenda, I was there when he did Dear Mama. MC Light DJ did that track. Um, but yeah, Brenda's got a baby. Yeah, yeah. So you
Yes.
see, that's Tupac. That was him.
Hmm.
Authentic. Keep your head up. I did a song called Pain, and Pain was number one here in Chicago. And I didn't know that until I started meeting dudes, and they're like, "Man, you did that." I didn't know it touched that many lives. Tupac
Wow.
touched a lot of
He
lives.
touched a lot of lives. A lot of lives.
So out of
And
respect
his
for
and his music is still doing it.
still. So I was at a middle school, and I was speaking to the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and the eighth graders. And I said, "How many of you heard of Tupac?" And all of them was like, like, what? That wasn't even born. But he
Hey,
still influenced these kids. So I feel like me working along with him and knowing him the way I did, and out of respect for the family, I have a job to really try and continue that
he will
legacy,
want you to.
continue that
He will want you
influence.
to.
Exactly.
Yes.
Tell them like, man, you don't understand. You are powerful. You can do this. You know what I mean? Don't look at me and put me as the biggest elephant in the room. All of y'all are biggest elephants in the room. You know what I mean? So that's what I do when I go speak at schools. I love it. I love
Wow.
it. You know?
I have something I want to ask you. You can answer it if you want.
Sure.
Well, me and you spoke about this, but it was the one uh, when Biggie spoke about Tupac. You remember that saga when Tupac got shot coming out of the hotel? Was the hotel or
The
the
studio.
studio? The studio,
Right.
yeah. And he thought it was Pac. I mean, Pac thought it was Biggie, but it wasn't.
Right. See, people gotta understand when you're in your early 20s, maybe some of us are not as that old. But if you think back to your 20s, you made decisions that weren't accurate. You had arguments where it never was resolved, and you resolved it, and you realized, man, I never knew that. I thought you were so.
Quad Studio, right? Quad Studio.
In my
Okay.
opinion, because Biggie and them didn't set Tupac up.
Right.
Tupac didn't know that at that moment in time, even if it was me and I saw y'all there, I would have thought the same thing. But I found out through certain, platforms that it wasn't that. But Ed Lover, if you watch the YouTube video, Ed Lover talks about a lot that he approached Tupac like, yo, bro, it wasn't them. Tupac actually wanted to make amends with a lot of people. And so the media is going to push it to where they want to get these reviews. They want to get the notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care about the truth and all of that. They want to feed, just like the East Coast, West Coast stuff. I remember when we
Right.
did Jack the Rapper, I was hanging with Dr. Dre and them. They invited us to a party and they kept coming over to our table like, yo, y'all good? We right here, man. It was never no East Coast, West Coast stuff. So what I'm saying is the media fed off of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Ed Lover, if you look at some YouTube interviews, you would hear Ed Lover say he saw Pop. And Pop thought that a lot of people were angry at him or this or that. So you don't know the truth, and you just we act out of emotion,
Right.
but the
Right.
truth never prevails. And when you find out the truth, you're like, man, why isn't this being broadcast? Why isn't that being broadcast?
They don't want you to have the truth.
Come
They
on,
don't
you
want us to
saw
have the truth.
Tupac and Big like this, Tupac and Stretch, all of us like this. How all of a sudden it's just going to turn into separation out of nonsense? Something has to be explained. And if that's not explained, people will run off of any type of thing that you see on social media and all that.
Assumption, all that. Yes.
There's so much that I can expound on this platform that I don't want to, but
No, you
I'm
don't have to
telling you
say
right
anything.
now,
We can bring it
Tupac
back another time.
Tupac and Biggie had love for Pop. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes when we grow up as individuals, like now, when I go around the way, they be like, yo, Kev, remember when you and Free had that fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, I was trying to beat him up, man. And now me and Free like this. We
Hmm.
like this. You
Live to tell
understand?
about it.
But in hip hop, that doesn't happen. Everybody want to capitalize off of the fact that y'all had a fight. Yo, who got beef with who?
That's
But
it.
nobody would
Right.
see how you made up. You
They
know,
won't talk
how
about that.
water under the bridge, bro. It's all good. Nobody want to talk about that.
Mhm.
Everybody want to feed off of the dysfunction of stuff. So
Right. I always wonder if Tupac and Biggie and it was still here, what would the industry be like today?
I know. I just know for one thing with Tupac, he would definitely be talking about a lot of cultural stuff that's happening. He would be involved in a lot more community stuff because things have evolved. So
Hmm.
as an artist, you have to evolve. Like, you look at Jay-Z, he evolved
Yes, he
business,
did.
doing a lot of things, and I'm sure it's more to come. and that's what I am. I don't want to just get into, somebody spitting on the mic about how they could shoot somebody so many times, how many licks they can lick up on a woman. No, let's
Right.
evolve and really take this to the next so we could protect the platform. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. And that's why
And if
a lot of,
that's what you want to do, you put it in an atmosphere. Like, we had the Russell Simmons,
right.
maybe it's K-Lo time.
It's K-Lo time.
It's
I
K-Lo
would
time.
love to run a company. I would love to be a part of something because of my integrity. I had opportunities, I'm not going to say who, to work with different people, but I turned it down. I
Mhm.
turned it down because it's nothing like, not doing something that you don't love, that you love to do. But what's involved is not, it's like it's assassination to your character.
Right.
You know? I mean,
But they
to
say
each his
all money ain't good money.
all money ain't good money.
Good money.
All good money ain't good money. But I love for it to impact our culture. And once I started seeing our babies, our little babies, man, who just still love life, that they're sitting there sad and they just need some love. They need somebody to help guide them. Once I started getting on that, it really humbled me as a man.
Okay. Well,
Straight
I
up.
just pray and ask God that He shields this testimony that came forth tonight on the Wine Glasses Up radio show. I definitely want to thank Dow Pringle for bringing us together and let nothing take us apart. We have a mission. We
G,
have a purpose to do,
G
and
Rock.
you on here,
New
you
Yorkers,
know.
we gotta do that,
Yes,
right?
do you go ahead, do your shout outs, please. They
Come
on
on,
here.
man. Yeah, it's all good though.
Good. Well, I don't want to hold you any longer. Maybe we can go forever, but the invite that I just gave to you live right here on this show, I would love for you to be on a platform with myself on the Wine Glasses Up show and can help, continue to build and inspire people. There's so many people out here that want to do music, but they don't know how and they don't know who to go to, or, they being robbed because they don't have the education. And, I'm not a producer. I got the mic. I do this over here. You do all the engineering stuff.
You got the mic?
I got the mic. What?
Come on, spit
I
16
got the
for
mic.
it. Spit
Oh,
16.
you don't want
Spit
none. You don't
16.
want this. You don't want this. I told her I used to MC back in the day. Don't get it twisted. Boy, I dropped them bars. Listen, my crowd know. My people in here know. I gets with it. I'll see your forehead.
No, I'm looking at my phone. I keep getting all these messages.
It's all,
Yeah.
listen, because like you said, you don't do this all the time. So this is an honor. But if you want, they can see you more and more and more. It's up to you. I just put it out there. I just put it
Right.
out there so the world can hear and see.
Yeah.
He has a platform. He has a
Yeah.
platform. It'd be an honor to work with you.
I appreciate that. And like I said, I thank God for being here today and to have the mindset that I have because it wasn't always like this. you know, and I just say to a lot of people, I know weed is legalized, but be careful with that stuff because it can affect this right here
Oh yeah.
and
If,
cause you to lose a lot of focus and not think correctly. You know what I
mhm.
mean? So we have to be on our grind more than ever right now because, like
Be
I said,
cautious.
this president election, this electoral thing, it shows us how much work we have to do.
A whole lot.
Country don't want to see us progressing.
Mhm.
And, we're radicals. We were radicals about what we did. And, hopefully hip hop and different platforms could continue to bring us close together.
Yes.
Families and our relationships and all of that stuff in our culture that we
Yes.
keep it 100 with each other. That's all.
Because my
That's
thing
all.
is, we're a lot of us now are. Oh, that's over the 40 mark. Um, you know, I'm not gonna say we won't live to be 100. There's people living to be 100 every day, but at some point, it's gonna be job well done.
It's
But
gonna be.
until then, let's rock on.
I mean, there
Let's
you
get
go.
this. I still got that. I still got that energy. I can do it. I can get it now. Don't.
Hey,
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 hey, hey. Well, if you don't hurry up and get back over here on the East Coast, well, I know I'm gonna have to make a trip on over there to Chicago. I've never been to the Windy City.
Well, if this pandemic wasn't going on right now, I would be there right now because I'm
I
ready
feel
to
you.
just do that. So, yeah, we would just definitely talk about that.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say to these great people that came on and gave us our time tonight? I know you told them how to reach you. You may want to tell them how to reach you again. And if there's anyone on here that you would like to work with, put it out. Just put it
I'd
out
like
there.
to work with, it's not even, because there's so many artists out there. I would love to work with artists that's tired of the BS because me, I'm a real producer. And even my team, we don't play games. So anybody who want to work with me is fine. I don't have limitations. I don't have a list. But I want to thank everybody that's listening for your time at this moment because you could be doing anything else, but you
Right.
tuned in to hear this, and I'm honored. I'm humbled by it, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it, but I can be reached at groundwatch at Gmail, groundwatch at Ymail, anything groundwatch. You know what I'm saying? And we can connect that way. I'm
Okay.
not going to stop doing what I'm doing. But a lot of us now at this in this time in society have experienced some things that we shouldn't have been experiencing.
Right.
I don't care how much money people got. We have got stories. All of us have a story. And it might not be a good story. To me, everything is just seems that it's been infiltrated by some evilness.
Right.
There's medical, the industry, the arts, the law enforcement, all of that stuff, all of these challenges and all of these weights that we got to deal with to survive in society. So if you're an artist, why not let your voice be a part of a solution if you are gifted at singing, if you're gifted at spitting on the mic?
Poetic. Use your gift.
Right. The gangster ain't gonna go but so far. We can do that. I could do that all day. Straight up. I can even spit some gangster stuff right now. What's up?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna do it
But
right now.
don't do
No.
it right.
I
Just
ain't gonna do
come
it
on,
right now.
please.
Come on, I ain't gonna do it now. I ain't gonna do it
All
now.
right. So but you promised me you'll come back and do it. You promised me
I'll
that.
come back and do it. I'll come back and do it. I'll come back and do it. But
Okay.
my whole thing is it ain't gonna go but so far.
Right.
You know, we gotta come up on this. We dominate a lot of things. But why should we allow dysfunction to disrupt when we get here? It's torn down so quick. So we have to be empowered. We have to empower our sisters. Our brothers have to be empowered. So if I could use my sphere of influence to empower the culture, that's what I'm about. You know what I mean? I can make money in front of you, but if I ain't empowering you, what's the use? I'm gonna sit home enjoying my money while other people are suffering. I've heard that from somebody, and then I have kids.
Right.
Now, do you remember Black Panther, that movie?
Yes.
When
Yes.
he went to sleep and he went to find his father in that field under that tree.
Baby, you talking about
The
the old Black Panther?
the panther. Uh, the actor,
They blowing you up.
the actor that passed away who played Black Panther.
Okay. No. Right. I got you. Okay. Yes.
Okay. And they put him to sleep. He went into that thing, and then he went into that dream and went to see his father.
Right.
And his father said something to him that resonated with me. He said, "A man is not a man unless he leaves an inheritance to his kids." So when you have kids now, your whole motive for things change. You know what I mean? So other kids I sometimes adopt as my kids. So if my inheritance is a powerful word that sparked a light bulb in them, you feel me? That's what I
Yes.
want to do with my craft and music. And if there's artists that have these powerful gifts, man, that can move a culture, that's what we need right now.
That's where we need to be at. Exactly. It's the power of the words. You know, you can speak about what you're seeing in society. It's but how you present it.
How you present it.
How you present it.
Hey,
Yeah.
whatever. So on that note, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm thanking everybody for their time and all the love that I'm getting on social media.
Oh yeah, you getting it, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, keep on pushing this. I'm definitely keep on pushing. We will definitely stay in contact as we have been. Again, we're gonna thank DP, Dow Pringle, Hollis Queens. We love y'all so much for bringing us together. We love you. Want to give a shout out to my boy Mike Johnson, Bars and Beats on here. What's up? Hey, you see that? And you see my wine glass? See that?
Yeah, I see that. That's what's up.
This is fellowship, and this is for me. This is for me to you. Look at that.
All right.
And there we go. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And we're gonna keep working. We got work to do. God got us on a mission. All right. Peace. And I love you.
Peace.